Hey y'all, iRick's Guy here, and I want to do a 1-year follow-up review of the Schwinn IC4, and I encourage you to subscribe to my channel, ring that bell icon when you do, and check out my Schwinn IC4 video playlist. You'll track back a year, and you'll see where I was assembling this Schwinn IC4. So I'm going to tell you the good, the bad, and the good thing is there's not that much bad, but we're going to tell you everything within this video. So I ride this a few times a week, and if you look at my playlist, you'll see that I started out, used several different apps. I used Zwift, I used Full Gas, I used Peloton app, not to be confused with the Peloton bike, but the Peloton app that you can use with your own bike like the IC4. And now I use Apple Fitness Plus. So we're going to talk about that in a great amount of depth. But what I want to say first is that the build quality of this Schwinn IC4 is exceptional. I've had no issues. I've had no pops, no creaks, no slips, nothing out of the ordinary that you might have grown accustomed to with inferior exercise bikes or outdoor bikes for that matter. But the build quality is great. The handlebars, semi-hard type finish, easy to wipe the sweat off of. The integrated computer, you could just use the integrated computer and not have to worry about using an app. But it's when you use an app that it gets really exciting, and we're going to go into depth about that here in a moment. It's got a tablet holder here. You can put your smartphone or your tablet. Maybe you don't have a smart TV like I do in front of my IC4. You could use your phone or your tablet and, have a screen while you're doing your workouts. So that's really nice. I did keep the protective plastic on the computer and also on the logo because you sweat a lot. And the good thing is that, that may better protect it. Very nice sized water bottle cages, which is super great, especially when you're doing long duration rides. And speaking of long duration rides, that's something that's really made me happy about this IC4, because I used to do, if you've subscribed to my channel, you've probably already heard my story, but if you haven't, please subscribe and ring that bell icon, and you can hear all the details. But I used to do a lot of road biking, and I went on a lot of mountain biking too, but in particular road biking. It was great exercise. I could go out and do a long duration ride, get an excellent workout where I felt like I was just burning fat throughout the night. It was wonderful. Some of the best shape I've ever been in my life when I did road biking. But then I was hit by a car. It was texting while driving. So ever since that happened, and I wish that when that happened, that I had more thoroughly inspected my road bike before the police officer let him go. But if I had, I would have noticed that the rear wheel of my road bike, it was an expensive road bike. That rear wheel cost a few $100s. So if I had noticed that they had dented it severely when they hit me, I would have made them pay for it. But they drove off. They didn't have to pay anything. And that irritates me because their distracted driving broke my back wheel. But in the scheme of things, a few $100 rear wheel replacement pales in comparison to a serious injury. So I was fortunate that I didn't get injured. The good thing is that, well, not the good thing, but the thing that happened, that was a wake-up call, and I'm like, I don't need to be sharing the road. If something like this can happen, what else can happen? It's just not safe. Unfortunately, it's just not safe for people on a bicycle and even other people in cars, man, because of all the texting while driving, distracted driving. It's horrible. But yeah, this thing, what I like about it, it's whisper quiet. I don't have worry about neighbors or anything, but if you're in a situation where you may, or maybe just somebody in a neighboring room in your residence, this thing is whisper quiet when you ride it. And that's because it uses magnetic resistance. So unlike a lot of the older and inferior indoor exercise bikes that use friction pads, to create that resistance, and those were a pain because they would wear unevenly. You had to replace them. Sometimes they heated up, they smelled bad, they wore unevenly, they were just a pain. This is magnets, so there's nothing physically contacting that front wheel. It's just you're increasing the magnetic resistance with the knob, or you're decreasing the magnetic resistance with the knob. So not only does that help reduce wear and tear, because obviously you don't have anything making contact with the wheel, but it also makes it very quiet and very smooth operation. So that is a huge thumbs up, 2 thumbs up that IC4 brought to the table. This is my first really nice exercise bike, and it's definitely my first magnetic resistance exercise bike. So the magnetic resistance is a huge sell on this. A few other things. Check out my assembly video if you haven't. Oh, and by the way, if you're looking for the Schwinn IC4, the mat like I use, a smart TV like I use, the sound equipment like I use, expand this video's description and then click the link there and you can find it all there. But yeah, check out my assembly video and you'll see how easy it was for me to assemble this. I did it by myself. If you had a second person, it may add a little bit of value. You know, one thing I would highly recommend if you do decide to order one of these, you know, you can find it linked within this video's description. But if you do decide to order it, what I would encourage you to do is unbox it and inventory all the components close to the entrance to your home or your apartment. And then that way you can make sure you got everything and then take the individual components to the room where you're going to install, where you're going to use, assemble and use your IC4. It's just less messy that way, and it just makes the setup process super simple. But I would strongly, super duper strongly encourage you to get a mat like this one, and you can find the mat linked within this video's description, because the mat not only helps to better protect your floors, but even though this is whisper quiet, I say it's whisper quiet. I mean, it makes a little bit of noise, but it's very quiet. The mat not only better protects your floors from the bike and further reduces noise, which is minimal noise anyway, but the main thing that the mat brings to the table is the sweat, because you're going to be, when you're doing a proper workout, you're going to be pouring sweat. This mat's easy to wipe up. Keep it looking good, keep it smelling good. You know, what you don't want to do is put an indoor exercise bike on your carpet and then just go in there and work out every day and just sweat in your carpet. Because then what's going to happen, that sweat's going to get in the carpet and it's just going to make your carpet stink. So this mat, I would say, not because of the noise, but because of the just better protecting the floor from sweat. It's well worth it for that. The ability to move around from room to room. So if you're in a place where this, unfortunately, I've got a place where it's a permanent location. I mean, obviously I can move it if I needed to, but I don't roll it around. This is where I always work out. So it's got 2 wheels on the front. Those wheels I probably wouldn't use on certain floors to roll it around, but if you've got like a, you know, like a concrete floor, like you use in the garage or whatever, those probably will be fine. I wouldn't use them on hardwood floors or laminate floors. I mean, maybe they might be okay. I don't want to trust it. The good news is, at least for me, and I'm not a super strong guy, but I can pick this bike up and carry it from room to room. And if you want to further reduce the weight to carry it, if you don't want to roll it, you can pop off, and I've got a video demonstrating this, pop off the handlebar assembly, pop off the seat post with seat, and it makes it even smaller and lighter to transport. The other good thing about this, you can see the width here, very narrow. So unlike a treadmill that's typically going to be a lot wider and a lot longer and a lot taller, this consumes a minimal amount of space within one's residence. So although it's a very nice feeling bike, it's a proper size. I'm 6'2". It's and again, it's highly adjustable. Check the link within this video's description for the detailed specs. But it's a full-sized filling bike, but again, it occupies a minimal amount of floor space in a residence, and that's important because, as you can see here, not only do I have a bike, but we'll talk about this in another video. Subscribe to my channel and check out those videos. Also do a rowing machine, so I kind of mix up my workouts between cycling and rowing. So yeah, easy to move, very easy to assemble, easy to easy to maintain. I mean, what is there to maintain on this? What have I done to maintain this bike? I've gotten a moist towel and wiped the sweat off in between workouts. So, you know, it's been very it's been hassle-free. Haven't had any issues. This is a belt-driven bike. Instead of a standard bicycle that uses a chain, this has a belt. So the fact that it's a belt, it's very smooth, and also not only is it smooth, but a belt is quieter than a chain. So, you know, for smoothness and quietness, this thing is just, it's just perfectly spec'd out. It's got these weights right here. If you do some of the workouts that have, you know, if you're doing weights while you're doing them, I mean, I hardly ever use them, admittedly, but it does come with them and they feel nice. And then the pedals, and again, I use shoes. I had with my mountain bike, when I first got clipless pedals, clipless being the shoes that, you know, they had the little thing that clamped down to the pedal. When I first got those, I also got disc brakes on my mountain bike. Long story short, I flew over the handlebars with the bike attached to my feet, broke every bone in my right hand, broke my chin. It was nasty. So ever since that happened, I have not been a fan of the clipless pedals. But if you do use those, you can see these pedals on one side have the connector for clipless shoes, or you can flip them over to the other side and you can use toe cages. I like the toe cages in these shoes. This is a flat bottom shoe. You can find it linked within this video's description too. But these are, they're just a good feeling surface for pedaling my IC4. So they don't clip to it. I just slide them in the toe clips. Now, you wouldn't have to use these toe clips. You could just use a flat pedal and not attach those. That's up to you. I like to use them because it gives me more pedal power. But if you're not afraid of the clipless pedals, you know, the ones where you have a cycling shoe, that's going to provide your most efficient pedaling experience. But again, I'm not a fan of those because of the bad wreck I had on a mountain bike outside. So I can't get that out of my head. Highly adjustable for multiple riders. You can check out one of my other videos where I talk about, you know, if you're sharing with multiple people in your household, just take a photo with your smartphone, say, okay, these are the settings that I use when I use the IC4. And then count the holes there, count, you know, the distance here, maybe get a, you know, a magic marker and mark it for the different people in your house. Easy way to quickly adjust and enjoy your workout. What you want to do, especially if you're sharing this bike with others, you know, you don't want any sort of deterrent, because it's like, well, I would work out, but I got to adjust the bike. I got to find the settings. Eliminate that. Make it simple. Make it a 10-second process. And, you know, this is an excellent bike for a shared user household. Now, talking about the bike, you can use this just with the bike. You don't have to have, you know, the app or anything. You could just use this display on the bike to track your metrics. It comes with a heart rate sensor you can put on your wrist. But what I like to do, and again, I've used several apps. Check out my videos. Matter of personal preference. You may prefer one of those over the other if you choose to use an app with this. I've stuck with Apple Fitness Plus. Why? Well, I use my Apple Watch with it. If I'm doing my indoor workouts on my IC4, Apple Watch collects all my data within Apple Fitness Plus. Then if I go outside for a jog, a walk, a hike, Apple Fitness Plus tracks that. If I go to the gym and I'm using a treadmill, which I don't have a treadmill here, well, I can use Apple Fitness Plus on the treadmill outside of my home and track my workouts. So I like the Apple Fitness Plus experience. It's just, you know, I got cycling in it. I've got rowing. And, you know, it's just a great workout and treadmill, you know, if I'm in the gym. But I would definitely buy this IC4 again without hesitation, because there's a lot of bikes out there. Some cost a lot more and some cost significantly less. But for this build quality, for this performance, for this to do what it's supposed to do, and that's provide me with a smooth and reliable indoor workout experience, indoor cycling experience, I can't think of anything that I would do better. I mean, this bike is, one thing they may would want to do is put some wheels on the front for transport. You know, if people were moving this from room to room, that may be a little bit more forgiving for the floor. I would personally be afraid to roll this with those wheels. You may not be. But, you know, just one small gripe to point out. The water bottle cages are huge. If you've got a big water bottle, that's great. The seat that comes with it, the saddle, if you're a cyclist, you call it a saddle instead of a seat, it's super comfortable. You know, I would have no need to replace the seat. But the beauty is, if you didn't like that, if it didn't feel good for you, it's a standard bicycle seat, man. Go to the bike shop, get you a seat, put it on there. Like I was saying in another video, just quickly disconnect the seat post, take the whole seat post with you to the bike shop, say, hey, here's a seat I've got. Can you put a seat on here that fits me better? Easy to do. So, from a customization perspective, if you didn't like that seat, it would be easy to swap it out. I mean, maybe you're proficient with swapping a seat yourself and you wouldn't have to go to a bike shop. It's a matter of your comfort level. But, yeah, I mean, this is top-notch, first-class indoor cycling equipment. So I'm thrilled. I don't have any complaints. Again, I like to eat a lot and whatever, so I'm not like fitness model thin or whatever. But if I didn't do this every week, and again, I rotate between IC4 and my indoor rowing equipment, and then also do some outdoor workouts. So I've got a variety of different routines that I do. But if I didn't work out every day, I mean, I'd be like, huge, man. So that's why it's so important to have a dependable and enjoyable piece of indoor exercise equipment. So if you're shopping for the best indoor exercise bike at the time of filming this video, which is late July of 2021, this bike gets 100% thumbs up for me. There's nothing I would have to dig deeply to try to criticize anything about this bike. I mean, it really is phenomenal. So subscribe to my channel, ring that bell icon when you do. Again, if you're shopping for the IC4, please expand this video's description and click the link there to not only find the IC4, but also the mat. I would definitely get the mat when you get the IC4, but also check out the link there for the cycling shoes like I use. And maybe you don't have a smart TV set up for this yet. Check out the smart TV and the sound equipment like I use. The cool thing is, and this is just, I was throwing extra dollars at it when I did this, but using this high-end audio like I have with the smart TV in front of my IC4 with a subwoofer as well, I get that sound. It feels like you're in a gym. I mean, you get the bass, you get the trainer in your face, and it's just it's a really, sorry, I keep scratching, man. I've got poison ivy all over my legs. But yeah, it's just a really motivational experience, and I don't know. Do your own due diligence. Look at those catchy marketing ads that some of the other bikes have, some of which cost a lot more than the IC4. Just gobble all that up, and then just ask yourself, well, what am I really looking for? If you're looking for a fitness tool, something that you plan to use a few times a week, something with that seems to have minimal breaking parts, something that's easy to assemble, it's a no-brainer in my book. And again, I'm a year in to ownership with this. So throughout the next few years, my opinions may change, but I hope it continues to be as reliable and as rewarding of an experience as it has been for the first year. So tell me what you think within the comment section below. Thanks again for all your viewership, your support, shopping my links. Deeply appreciated. Any IC4 questions or curiosities you have, hey, subscribe to my channel, check out my video playlist. You may find a video that I've already posted answering it, but if not, just comment below. And I'll try my best to respond with a video here on the Irish Guys Adventure channel. Y'all have a good day and best of luck with your fitness goals. Hey y'all, Captain Irish Guy here. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to subscribe. It's youtube.com/Irish Guy. And ring that bell icon when you do to be notified whenever I post another video. Thanks for your viewership, and y'all have a good day.